Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Those watching these videos, and most of the videos on this channel, tend to be expats, although there are Thais that watch these videos, especially those associated with U.S. immigration. In this video, we're going to discuss the business visa, and we're going to discuss specifically inspections associated with business visa application. What are we talking about when we're talking about inspections? I'm actually talking about immigration officers physically coming to a company's registered address and ascertaining whether or not there really is a business going there and whether or not there's a genuine operation operating. This is a fairly recent development. This is a fairly recent development with respect to Thai immigration. In fact, within about the last week of the time of this filming, which is approximately May 20th, 2017, it's come to my attention through personal experience dealing with clients within our firm that those applying for a business visa extension on a brand new company are going to be immediately subject to inspection. This happened on 2 clients of ours within the past 7 days, and we were assisting in filing for business visa extension, and immigration immediately told us, okay, we're going to come meet you today at the office, and we want to see that everything is hunky-dory, for lack of a better word. We want to see that everything is actually on the up and up. That happened in both cases. The premises were inspected. They found that a legitimate business was taking place on those premises, and it was no big deal. But it's something to think about. Inspections are becoming more common. This is all in line with the recent policy, the so-called good guys in, bad guys out policy that immigration has in recent years enacted. And scrutiny, as well as adjudication, as well as enforcement of immigration rules, regulations, and the documentation and evidence associated with applications for Thai visas generally, all of this has become a much higher standard when compared to times past. That's not to say that there weren't rules and laws with respect to these issues. What we're saying is Thai immigration has essentially moved up a rung when it comes to enforcement of regulations. In the past, the issue was more a documentation issue. These days, they're actually following up adjudications not only with by requesting a significant number of documents, but also by, for example, inspecting. They actually come physically see the premises to ascertain whether or not it's a genuine business that's going. Again, this is a very recent development, and it does not look like that's going to change anytime in the near future. Those who are interested in long-term Thai visas should be very aware that it's not getting easier, it's getting more difficult. Again, as noted, tourist visas to be used as a way of living in Thailand, that's a thing of the past. Business visas now are very carefully scrutinized. In other videos on this channel, we'll discuss how the marriage visa as well as the education visa have come under increased scrutiny. But specific to this video, understand business visas inspections are occurring. Adjudication of those applications, the adjudicators are scrutinizing those applications much more deeply than they used to in the past. This is not some sort of rubber stamping process or some formality. This is a genuine adjudication. It's really starting to look not very dissimilar to the way that visas to the United States are adjudicated. It's a fairly long, drawn-out process. Multiple officers are taking a look at the case file, and then on top of it, this inspection component has been added to the overall process. And again, it's a pretty serious deal. As noted on other videos on this channel, the visa process is going to differ province to province. So what we have to deal with, routinely we deal with matters here at Royal Thai Immigration Division 1, which is Bangkok, so-called Cheng Watana. We deal with that stuff here pretty routinely. The way that they're going to deal with things could be very, very different than the way that they deal with these kinds of things up in Nong Khai, for example, or down in Phuket. Again, each province has a slightly different variant or variation on how they undertake the enforcement of immigration law or the adjudication of immigration applications. But that being said, it's fairly safe to say that yes, I think across the board this stuff is going to get tighter, it's going to get more difficult. to basically have any sort of leeway with respect to documentation. And with the inspection component, I don't really see where it's possible to do anything but just operate totally by the book and maintain a really tight a legal service provider, a professional service provider, corporate service provider who's dealing with, and this is what primarily we specialize in, those kind of service providers who are dealing with a company's upkeep and maintenance on a day-to-day basis from an administrative standpoint. If there's a foreigner involved that needs a visa extension and a work permit maintained, that has to be taken into consideration with respect to the way that the corporate service provider maintains things like accounting and filings and Social Security filings and all of this on a day-to-day basis. As failure to do so, and I mean literally down to minute details, could result in a refusal to extend a visa, for example. And that could lead to a lot of wasted time, resources, and frankly frustration and stress associated with not being able to renew one's visa.